Hi, today we have a Kia Picanto with a 1000cc petrol engine. As you can notice, there is a lot of oil covered from the valve cover, so that's why I'm going to remove the valve cover and replace the gasket. To remove the valve cover, I have to remove this plastic diffuser from the air filter. And as we can notice, there are 3 bolts with 10mm wrench, and also this metal bracket for the throttle cable is in the way, so I'm going to open these 2 bolts with 10mm wrench. I have disconnected some wiring, also cables, but to remove the valve cover I have to remove the top part of the inlet manifold. There are a couple of bolts here. As you can notice, I have disconnected the map sensor, also the idle sensor. I'm going to open this bolt from the bracket of the air filter housing, and I'm going to disconnect the vacuum hose for the brakes. This one is for the LPG system. The smaller hose is for tank ventilation, oil evaporator. I have removed one bolt here with 10mm wrench. That is from the bracket of the vacuum hose for the brakes. So now I'm going to open these 4 bolts with 12mm wrench. There is one on this side. They are holding the half part of the inlet manifold, and also there is a metal bracket here under the pipe of the hose for the brakes, also with 12mm wrench, and I can remove the half part of the inlet manifold. Now I have opened these 4 bolts and this one on the bracket, but there is one more bolt from the lower side of the inlet manifold, so I'm going to raise the vehicle to open the lower bolt. So now you can see the bolt that is from the lower side of the inlet manifold. Also it can be opened with 12mm wrench. After removing the bolt, I have lowered the vehicle, and as you can see, the inlet manifold is free and it can be removed. So now I have access to the bolts, and also I can pull out the valve cover. So there should be bolt here. This is one we have here. We can see from the LPG system. There is also one over here. I have to move this. Now we have 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts, and also there are 2 bolts of the upper plastic cover with 10mm wrench. That is this one and this one. Those needs to be just removed, so I can pull out the valve cover. So now I can pull out the valve cover. Whoa, there is a lot of nasty inside. And now I can remove the gasket. The gasket is like a plastic. It's very hard. So I'm going to remove the gasket, clean the valve cover. Also I'm going to clean this area where the gasket stays, and after that I can install new gasket and return the valve cover. I have cleaned the valve cover as much as I can. Here I have new valve cover gasket that I'm going to install in the vehicle. I have installed the gasket on the valve cover, so now I can install the valve cover. As you can see, I have cleaned the cylinder head as much as it was possible. I have tightened 6 bolts with 10mm wrench that hold the valve cover. Also these 2 bolts that hold the upper plastic cover for the timing belt. So now I can return the inlet manifold and I can tighten it. I have tightened 4 bolts with 12mm wrench of the inlet manifold, one on the bracket, connected the idle sensor, connected the vacuum hose for LPG, also vacuum hose for evap valve, and also I have to connect the oil evaporator. I have installed the gas cable, 2 bolts of the bracket, connected the idle step motor, map sensor, everything is connected. So now I'm going to install the upper hose of the air filter housing and also this plastic diffuser of the air filter, and I can raise the vehicle to install the bolt from the lower side of the inlet manifold. Before I install this metal bracket, I had to install the plastic diffuser with 3 bolts with 10mm wrench, and after that the metal bracket with 2 bolts with 10mm wrench. Everything is assembled here, so I'm going to install the last bolt of the inlet manifold. I have installed the last bolt of the inlet manifold. So now I can lower the vehicle and I can start the engine. The vehicle is on the ground, so now I'm going to start the engine. The engine is working perfectly. That means everything is installed like it should. So this means that I am finished. If you like to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and thank you for watching.